Hello everyone. Wanted to come on here today and talk about a few gaming related topics and really just kind of a few theories about what's going on with two events that have particular interest to myself and the changing landscape of where things are going with one event in particular. As you are certainly aware, the coronavirus has been not only a health issue around the globe, but an increasing economic issue. A lot of major events closed down or being held without audiences in sports arenas, concerts. Lots of big gatherings have been completely closed down in many countries around the world, which is causing economic issues by itself. But then you also have increasing supply chain issues, and that is something that, depending on how long it goes on, the backup can really stretch into the far future. And the video games industry is obviously not immune to such things, especially in a year where the supply chain issue is going to be an especially hard-hitting factor, in that we have major console releases coming towards the end of the year. And I definitely feel that at this point, with the recovery time in a lot of these supply chains, I would bet there are going to be a lot of issues with shortages of the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox. I really think that is going to be an issue this holiday season, and I think that is one of the many factors why, at the time of recording this, we haven't had quite the level of specificity and detail in so much as what these consoles are going to be, and exact release dates, and pricing. And I think that's just one thing that's kind of delaying that information. And also timing, with a lot of big gaming events being either delayed or outright canceled. And one of those, the latest casualty, might be E3 itself. And E3 has been kind of dying slowly anyway these past few years, and I don't think we are ever going to see E3 the way we think of it ever again. Even if it is something that is canceled this year and comes back next year, I think the general state of E3, with many major publishers and major console manufacturers just kind of pulling out altogether, or just having their own independent digital thing like a Nintendo Direct, anything like that, I feel like the event itself doesn't quite have the same feeling and importance that it used to, and it seems to be much more based around influencers and celebrities, and I really feel like it's less interesting than it used to be. And that's been happening for a while. I love the idea of E3, and I love the spectacle of it, and I love the excitement, and I love the holding of information to have a huge, big announcement and stage show at E3. I love that idea. Even I'm aware that this is not the 90s or the early 2000s, and in the current age of things like Nintendo Direct and big Twitter announcements and YouTube trailers dropping, it really is a fairly irrelevant event. So I do have to admit that, and I really feel that even if E3 does come back and continues to be a thing, it's never going to reclaim its former glory. I think those days are over. E3's is, as I think of it, is pretty much done, I feel. And I was thinking that it was an event that was going to be toned down or outright canceled this year. And then you have today things like Digital Devolver tweeting about, might as well just cancel your plane trips, and other people pulling out of E3, and I just feel like it's already down to this skeleton of an event to where I feel like it's going to be outright canceled in the next couple of days. The other thing that's been oddly delayed has been a new major Nintendo Direct. We've had some for some specific games, especially Animal Crossing lately, but no real big Nintendo Direct for what's coming throughout the rest of the year. Not really since last September. And I definitely feel like a lot of the disruptions based around the coronavirus have actually been part of the issue, part of one of the factors. I really think that there was a Nintendo Direct that has been delayed or altered in some way, because this Nintendo Direct, more so than many of the others, because it has been so long, I think one of the major things about this Direct is going to be release dates more than anything. Big reveals and release dates are the two big things. Because after Animal Crossing, which comes out in a little over a week, we really know very little as far as first and second party Nintendo Switch releases, especially as you get further into the year. And even the few releases that we do know are upcoming, things like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, we have next to no information, no release date, and really very little past the end of March do we definitively know for the Switch. And that's very unusual to say that a month from now we don't know exactly what the big releases are going to be, and to really not have any excitement after Animal Crossing with definitive release dates and a lot of projects that just haven't been revealed. There's so much that it's a little bizarre to not have a clue really what the picture is, what the game plan is for the rest of the year. And I haven't come on here and talked about it at all, but I've been kind of thinking for a little while that there may be issues with release dates, which again are very important here, as the work environment has shifted and a lot of people are working from home or staying from home, and there's going to be a lot of changes. I feel a lot of delays in release dates, and I feel that perhaps even if there was a Nintendo Direct getting ready to roll, with a lot of changes and uncertainty, you kind of have to wait and pull back until you really can get things together and have things more solidified. So I really think that we missed a Direct that is being altered and will be coming soon. And another big hint for that, and why I kind of wanted to come on and talk about it, was the reveal the other day of a Lego Super Mario project, and the first reveal announcing that the latest Nintendo Direct announced their exciting collaboration, which was of course very quickly taken down and altered to remove the Nintendo Direct element, and then just they have announced an exciting collaboration. I really feel like that was something, and it feels like a project that would be a Nintendo Direct reveal, definitely. There's a lot of things that I feel had been kind of trickling out that were supposed to be part of a Direct, and I feel like it's just kind of the things that have to get it out there in some extent, while the Direct is being held off. And for my best guess as far as a Nintendo Direct, because getting down to the point where it kind of has to happen unless there are just going to be continued announcements for release dates for the next month or two, because otherwise you really have to have a Direct or some sort of news trickle soon. I think that at this point it's going to not be this week. That'll be my best guess, and I don't think next week either. I think with Animal Crossing being so close at this point, I feel that it's probably going to be post Animal Crossing, but I think it's going to happen fairly soon after Animal Crossing. So I really don't think we're going to see it. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we're going to see it this week or next week. And there's always a possibility it could even be pushed into early April, but I don't think so. I think there's just so much coming so soon. We already have a lot of retailers putting up release dates and changing them or taking them down, and some that don't really feel like placeholders. They feel a little more stable and realistic, and rumors that the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition could be coming out in May, and the fact that it's been rated pretty much all around the world and seems like it might be close to ready to go. I think there's going to be a lot of big surprise April, May, June releases that we really don't know about yet. Things like the Panzer Dragoon remake, I think, is going to be within the next 2 months. Xenoblade, I think there's going to be a couple more and a few surprises. And I think there's going to be a lot of big announcements for what's coming out the second half of the year. Big holiday games, I think, that are going to be revealed. There's so much out there that's going to be coming soon that I think even just waiting till April, just a few more weeks, is going to be a little too long. So my best guess, I really think we're going to see the next Nintendo Direct either Thursday the 26th or Friday the 27th, so the week after Animal Crossing. I really think we're going to see an announcement either Wednesday or Thursday, and a Direct Thursday or Friday of that week. That's my guess. And again, just a guess, and just speculation really about what's going on behind the scenes, but I really think that's an element that's a part of what's going on. Very excited, and again, I think at this point it almost is going to create if it's a really good direct and has a lot of great reveals and trailers and things, I think it's going to create probably the greatest direct ever because of the anticipation, because there's so much that has not come out yet, and because people have been going insane on social media waiting for this direct because it's been such a long time, that I feel like the excitement is going to boil over and it's going to be a huge event. And it's just funny, it's a totally different world to where, when I was growing up, it was you didn't have any of these big events and just a little bit in magazines, and you really didn't know about things, and even release dates, you weren't always exactly sure when the exact release date was for a lot of games. It's a very different world, but in the current climate, I feel like this feels like a long time to not have information on some big games. Things like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, I feel like is going to be a huge game and really keep pushing the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise on the Switch. So let me know what you think below, and if you are sad to see that E3 is kind of whittling away, if you have been around and enjoyed the E3 showcases of the past, especially of the really the early 2000s, I think were like the big thing once the internet was more widely available, and E3 having big showcases. The last big E3 for me, I think, was like 2015. There's been a lot of great individual games shown since then, but as far as like as a whole, what was the big spectacular for me was 2015. That was a huge one. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever hit those highs ever again. And what are you excited for with the Nintendo Direct? And down below also put your predictions for what you think is going to be the date of the next Nintendo Direct.